The problem of substance abuse, especially among youths and young persons, is a silent epidemic and a major public health problem globally. In Nigeria, drug use is a menace, especially among youths. According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, there were 14.3 million drug users in Nigeria in 2018, while 3 million Nigerians suffer from drug use disorders. This is almost times 3 the international prevalence of substance use. In November 2023, Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborori raised the alarm on the growing incidence of hard drug abuse in the country, saying it had become a global public health that needed to be tackled head-on and called on all stakeholders to work towards its prompt, effective eradication. Oborori stated this when the chairman and chief executive officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Buwamara, retired, and his delegation visited him at Government House, Asaba. He assured the NDLEA of the state government's unwavering commitment and support to the fight against substance abuse and illicit drug business. Joining us on the show this morning to discuss how the Delta State government has tackled the drug abuse problem in the state since Governor Oborori came into office is Dr. Fred Oghenesivbe, Director General, Delta State Orientation and Communications Bureau. He would also be discussing how his bureau is flagging off a Delta-free Delta campaign, a drug-free Delta campaign in selected secondary schools in Delta in collaboration with the State Command of NDLEA. Good morning, and you're most welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning, Dr.
Thanks for joining us.
Rufai, the great Rufai, good morning. Sir. Thank you very much. Yes.
Well, Doctor, tell us about this drug-free Delta problem. I mean, it's a national problem.
Yes, it is.
Perhaps in terms of the efforts that the governor has tried to make in Delta State, other states can learn from the processes in Delta State. So why drug-free? Are you saying that Delta State is a haven for drug addicts beyond the 14.3 data that we have from Nigeria, and hence the governor considers it a priority? But what are the processes? What lessons can other states learn?
Yes, really, it's not that Delta is a haven for drug abuse. It's just that we are determined to clean the system, to reduce it drastically to the barest minimum. It's impossible, really, to get a state or a country free of drugs because of the multifaceted nature of the channels of distribution.
So the strategy is not preventive, it is corrective.
It's corrective, and at the same time,
maybe the scale is so frightening.
Corrective to an extent, because if you can stop the students, the young ones, from taking drugs, it helps a lot. So the campaign is all about catching them young, at the secondary school level, so that, as they grow up, they get to understand that drug can ruin destinies. And if they have to live a good life, they need to stay away from drugs. You remember that there was a case in Delta the other time where Ivan and his brother, Erumsele, Ivan was killed, Erumsele, lost his eye to, this conflict between the NDLEA and drug sellers in Delta. And that really got the governor, irritated. And he said we must put, all effort towards ensuring that, we get rid of drug from the state.
Okay. In order to even begin to talk about the problem, it will be important to understand the scope or extent of the challenges, even though you're saying that it's not really such a big problem. As of 2023, when the CEO of NDLEA visited Delta, the statistics was 18% of your young population, making about 500,000 people, were abusing drugs in Delta State. I don't know what the numbers are today,
between
2025.
15 and 64.
And 64.
Yeah.
Also, the population. So I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know if has there been any improvement since then? Have you been able to collect data? And then, because that would help you to know how to even begin to tackle the challenges. Where your problem is, what is the root cause? Why is there a prevalence to this extent in Delta State? I know in other states they have their own statistics, but the focus is on Delta this morning.
Yes, but the two commandants in Delta, Wada Abubakar and Anne, she's in the seaport and Wada is on the land. They've been working tremendously.
Okay.
There are over 350 cases in court right now. A lot of seizures has been made.
Okay.
The warehouse is full. In fact, I was with the NDLA commander 2 days ago, and he opened the warehouse. It was filled up. That goes to show that they've been doing a tremendous job.
What's the root cause? Because it's great to measure success, but it would be, like Dr. Bato was saying, preventive is even almost more effective so that you catch them young, like you said. Have you been able to identify what the root cause, what the main causes of the prevalence of drug abuse?
Yes, I think the root cause is about some of these youths just want to be high, you know. Some of them that have this criminal tendency are also bound to take drugs. And, you know, there is this new thing that is happening in the country. They said education is now scam, that they don't want to go to school. And most of these boys that believe that education is scam, they are also, you know, connected to the use of drugs. So that is why in the Delta State government, we have created a lot of windows, okay? Job creation through the Bureau of Wealth Creation, Women Affairs, and all of that. And we're also helping young businesses to grow. You know, when COVID came and all that, you know, a lot of businesses couldn't function. So the governor has really invested so much in building small-scale businesses. Okay. And so we want to take these young ones, get them busy, and, you know, create the atmosphere that will make them not to think about taking drugs.
Good.
How do you have the moral justification to tell the young ones not to take drugs when their politicians and leaders in society are heavy on drugs?
Well, you see, that's another problem. But, you know, the campaign is all-encompassing, really, because we also have radio jingles running in all the radio stations, you know, telling people about the dangers of drug. And also, the state government is working now with the NDLEA. They have one new test kit they now have to test civil servants, to test workers. And we're also working to see the possibility of extending it to schools so that when you apply for admission, you want to be admitted, one of the process you need to go through is to be tested.
How's the testing of civil servants been? Have you discovered maybe people in the civil service field that are heavy on drugs? You know?
No, it's not that we are targeting at a very particular set of persons.
No, because there should be random general testing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You know, because, you know, see, because the major problem is the youth of today are impressionable. They look at what their political leaders and their leaders in general are doing. They see endorsement of drugs by their leaders. They know what's going on. In fact, some of their leaders during political time use their own state funds, resources, to buy drug to get these young people high so that they will do heinous crimes for them during elections.
But
that's a big problem.
Yes,
because there's a source for it.
Yeah,
all of it.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's the most cardinal point, but it's one of the mainstay of the problem as we speak today.
But if I'll tell you that in Delta, I've been the political terrain for some time. That is not prevalence in Delta.
But
yes, politicians in Delta
don't use drugs.
I don't know of any that uses drug.
You don't know of any that
yes,
uses drugs?
And I have not. No youth has confessed to me that he has been given drug by a politician.
Did they confess to you before?
Of course, you know, these boys in Delta.
And they will tell you?
These boys in Delta are very vocal. They are not.
So
they don't hide their feelings.
If a politician is pumping them with drugs to go and steal ballot box on election day,
I don't think that happens.
They will tell you that?
I don't think that happens in Delta.
So it doesn't happen. They don't steal ballot boxes in Delta.
Yeah,
they don't.
The days of ballot boxes are gone, you know. With the new voting system, you don't steal ballot boxes anymore.
Let's go beyond
yes, sir.
Delta State. I think it was this week that we had the DG of the National Orientation Agency on this program, and he was talking about values orientation. He was talking about, you know, collaboration, that they have offices, 774 in all the local government councils. So, you know, he made a point that the Tinubu administration takes value reorientation very serious. Now, you are in charge of orientation and communication in Delta State. What is the level of synergy between your office and the NOA, which I believe, as Mr. Larry Saunilu pointed out, has an office in Delta State? Do you collaborate? And then to what will you say to Nigerian youths generally? Because the poster says, from your office, says, don't do drugs. You can live a better life without drugs. Well, that message, I think, should not be for only the youth of Delta State? It should be a general statement. Those two things.
Yes, the orientation, National Orientation Agency, there is a director in Delta, Mrs. Tracy Kolomi, and she has visited my office, and we collaborate on issues of sensitization. In fact, this last flood sensitization we did, it was a collaboration between my agency and the NOA. And we hope to partner also in this very drug sensitization that we're doing, this drug campaign we're doing. She's also involved. She will be with us at the press conference on the 28th. And then the flag off ceremony, she will be there with other staff of the NOA. And going around the state, the NOA people will be represented in that team, alongside with the NDLEA. So we're working together in all of this. All right. And then my advice to the Nigerian youth is that they should look at people like Dr. Ruben Abati and Rufai, who are here all the time, so taking us to years. They should look at them. They should be their role model. They should be their role model. Because
we have been told by Trump that there are two genders.
Yes, because you see, and you too, because you see, you know, if you guys are told that way of taking drugs, we will be here doing this great job for this nation. So they should look at people like you to be their role model. To say, I want to be like Ruben Abati, I want to be like Rufai, I want to be like Mrs. Kojo Iweala, you know, and all of that. So you see, Ayo as well. So I think if we really relax our mind, we have focus, they have goals, and they pursue their goals prayerfully, I think this nation will be better for us.
Okay, real quickly, I just wanted to point out something. Just clarify something. You see, when I was talking about leaders, you think I was not just talking amiss.
Okay.
The chairman of Ogbomro community in Uwe local government area of Delta State, Mr. Solomon Okadaso, has been arrested for alleged drug peddling. This was a story in 2022.
That's an allegation.
Can you imagine?
It's an allegation.
So you keep seeing things like this coming up, and you say the leaders in communities and political leaders that we should not also look at them.
Very quickly,
don't forget that in the political system, you see a lot of things happen.
Okay.
People can be framed up, and that is why it's alleged.
Okay.
So by the time it's taken to court and found guilty, they will know if actually it's involved in drugs.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time with us this morning, and thanks for raising awareness on a very important issue, not just in Delta State, but across Nigeria as a whole.
Thank you.